borrows your car.
Just be careful with my baby.
I can't.
You have such nice eyes.
It's lens.
Lenses. Whoops.
I can't see.
I'm an actor. I should know this.
Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama Hangout. I'm Rohit Khilnani, your host, and I know you all are not here for me, you all are here for someone special. Without wasting any time, should we get him here, right here, so that we start the show? So please welcome Dulquer Salmaan. Thank you, DQ. Thank you so much. He's here, and you all can now look at him. And these are your select hand-picked fans who wrote to us because they wanted to meet you, see you, ask you questions. So should we go ahead with the show? Dulquer, firstly, thank you so much for doing this.
I'm so happy to be here. I mean, this is such a nice format. I've not done this before. Yeah, I don't think we've experienced this where I'm very bad at using the word fans. I'm always saying film goers and movie lovers and stuff because I don't think I can fully accept the fact that I have fans. But it's so nice to interact with all of you and see all your faces. And a lot of the times I'm only reading things people write. So this is lovely.
See, this is what you all love about him, right? Right. Firstly, I want to ask you, we'll do a short Q&A and then we will come to you all. You all will get to ask questions and try to make him sing and dance, and we'll do all that. Right. Firstly, I want to ask you, are you based in Mumbai? Because we are seeing you, we are very happy. The Paps are very happy.
I live out of a suitcase.
You live out of the
Yeah, so it's, I think whenever the few days I'm at home and I can open a cupboard and pull out clothes is like a big luxury for me. Otherwise, I'm always bending down and pulling things out. But no complaints. I love this journey of mine, and I feel home in Bombay, I feel home in Hyderabad, I feel home in Kochi, of course, and Chennai. And yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
What do you miss when you're here? What do you miss the most about home?
It's not fair because I think I'm very blessed. But sometimes I feel a little jealous of my friends who are in one place and they have these routines and they get to do Sunday things, and so sometimes I'm a little jealous of that, and they get to see their kids every day and do the school routines and stuff like that. But also I feel like it's such a joy to like be doing what I'm doing. I get to live all these different roles, and I get so much love from all of you. So yeah, but I think sometimes I miss a routine.
Right. I'm going to take you back also. They pretty much know everything about you. So I have to dig out things that they don't know. What was childhood like?
Childhood was pretty awesome actually. We moved to Chennai when I was really young. I was 7, and I had grown up in Kochi with a lot of close family. I was very attached to my grandparents. And I had lots of uncles and aunts and lots of cousins. My dad has 5 siblings. My mom has 3. So this whole going to both these homes, both these ancestral homes, became a big part of my childhood. So moving to Chennai was very heartbreaking at that time. I remember the first train journey and moving there, and we were so lost, going to a new school. But I think as kids, you adapt very quickly. I made lots of great friends who are all in my life now. But always, I think summer vacation was going back to Kerala, and both sides of my family is very, very unique in the sense my mom's side is from Kochi, like the older part of Kochi, which is like Mattancherry and Fort Kochi and stuff. So big trading hub. So in that sense, it's a big melting pot of cultures. Gujarati community, Kashmiri community, there's a Jewish community, Konkani community, and all of that. Whereas my dad's side was literally like a village from our literature.
Right.
It was white sand and natural ponds and the backwaters and Chinese fishing nets and canoes and stuff like that. So I kind of grew up enjoying all of that.
Okay.
And it's a stark difference from Chennai, which is like this big, metro. But I think in all of that, I would seek stories from wherever I go. I loved hearing about how any of us grew up, whether it's my grandparents or even if I visit my friends' homes in Chennai, like I'd like to know their stories. I think I've always searched for stories wherever I go.
So very nice, normal childhood, right? Yeah. And then you did business management and did an IT job. Is it true? And also, I'm sure you all know, but this is all over the internet. But what was that like? What was that normal day at a job like?
So I grew up in Chennai. The school I went to essentially had everybody from all the big business houses in Chennai. So be it Apollo, Murgappa, TVS, MRF, and all of that. So I had so much exposure to that. I was kind of drawn to that as well. And at that point in Malayalam, there was no successful second generation actor. So this whole nepotism debate just didn't have any ground in Kerala. So I was like, this is not a career option. Uh, I can't, I can't join the family business. So I was like, I have to find something on my own, and so I was fully always exposed to business. But I think predominantly I was always creative. I love to sketch. I love to draw. I would have, in hindsight, I would have loved to go to design school, but I didn't know how to go about it. I think those days there was no information, and even applying to schools abroad was a set process. You take your SATs and you take your TOEFLs and then you apply to colleges and I was like, if my parents are spending this kind of money and sending me to university in America or something, and if I go to design school, like, how do I make that money back for them, right? So I was like, I should go to business school because businessmen make money. Uh, so so I went to B school because all my friends were going to B school. But even in business school, I think I was drawn more towards anything creative. I enjoyed marketing more than anything else. I was super shy. I was terrible at speaking on stage. I took a public speaking course in college because communications 101. I took it 3 times because I was so terrible. I think I got 2 C's and I finally got a B or something. Uh, and so today when I speak like this, I think for my school friends it's like this. They can't really believe it. Yeah, because I would get on stage and everything would shake and I'd freeze and they'd be like, "Speak, speak." And I'm like, so that I think has become a big personal victory, that just to be able to speak. And when I see all these youngsters today, including my daughter or her classmates, and they are performing in front of their classmates, or if they have to read something or speak something or perform, and they're so confident. I'm like, wow, I love this generation. I wish I was a part of. I grew up now because like they have no fear, and they're so used to cameras, and they've grown up in front of their phone cameras. They've grown up in front of so all of these influencer kids. They know their good angles. They know what looks cute. They know what looks sexy. They know what looks. And I'm like, I had to see myself in movies to understand. I was like, oh, okay, this profile. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about how I look. I'm just going to perform.
Do you also have an angle? Do you know what looks sexy?
No, I stopped doing that. I know my wife is always jumping from one side to the other because she's like, this is my side. I'm like, and I still haven't figured which her side is. So now when I take pictures with girls, I'm always like, do you have a side?
Okay, do you want to sit this side? I'm happy to.
Okay, I've made peace with both sides. They're both my friends.
Right. So, what was that day at a job like?
It was like a job. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh my God, the alarm rang, I have to wake up, I have to go to work today. And then you're sitting at work and you're like looking at the watch and you're like, oh, is it time for tea break? Oh, is it time for lunch? Oh, is it time for evening coffee? When does work get over? Yes, work is over. And then at that time is when I met a bunch of youngsters. Funnily enough, including my director of King of Kotha, Abhilash. So a bunch of my friends were making short films, and I'm like, what is the end goal? Like, where are we going to show these films? They're like, we don't know, but we're just going to make these. I was like, guts, So I was like, I want to do this, and so when we started doing that, I was like, this doesn't feel like work, because it's like a bunch of friends. It's like how you had, projects in school. You had like craft, or if there's an annual day, we all work tirelessly, and it's like a competition as to who can work more. Like when we were in school, the boys would be like, I lifted 6 chairs, I lifted 7 chairs, or whatever, and none of that felt like work. So being on a film set reminds me of that, of those school days where we're all collaborating to achieve one great final goal. It's so dynamic. It's not like you're sitting in a cubicle. Everyone's running around. So you have that energy that people keep giving you. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do for life. I don't care what, but I just want to be on a film set.
Right. So, honestly, you don't miss your job days, right?
No, I don't. I mean, I get reminded of it if in some of my films I have a badge and a bag and a cubicle, and I'm like, oh my god, I so don't miss these days.
Right. Taking you back again, do you remember what was your dad's first reaction when you told him, I want to act?
He's a very protective father, and I think he's always encouraged me to do other things because when you're in the movies, it's like you're putting your kid out there, and like anyone can say anything, and you can curse them and abuse them and break their confidence, and so I think that was very scary for him. So he's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "I can't protect you. I can't come there and act for you. You're all. This is all you on your own." And I'm like, "Yeah, pa," but I'm like, at this age now where I feel like if I don't do it, I'll get older, and I'll regret it by the time I'm 40. I'll regret not having given it a go. And I don't want to live my life with regrets. And also, I thought, like, I think he had a small apprehension that maybe his days as a leading man is over because now his son is an actor. And sometimes that happens, sometimes when leading actors and their second generation start to become lead actors, they sometimes start to then get relegated to character roles. I mean, that's not happened. He's he's killing it even now.
Absolutely.
He's competition to all of us. So I think he went through all of those. But what I love about him is he never stopped me. He said, it's your life. You should do what you want. But I am not going to make any calls. I'm not going to ask any favors. I had nobody to help me. Figure this on your own. I don't know how you're going to do it. All on you. I'm just saying yes. Go do what you want.
And you were like, oh no.
No, I like that. I was like, okay, great. So now what do I do? I've decided to become an actor. I'm just like, what is the procedure? So then I have the best sister in the world. She's like my best friend in my journal. So she was like, you need to do something. I'm like, I know, but I don't know what. So she goes online and then she finds acting courses in Bombay, as you have it. And then she's like, there's a course starting on Monday. And this is like on a Wednesday. And she's like, just go. I said, what do you mean just go? Where will I stay? She's like, I don't know. You have some friends, go, couch surf. And that's what I did. I just showed up on a Friday with a demand draft. I called a friend. I said, can I stay in your house? I'm here for 3 months. He's like, 3 months? He's like, come, we'll figure it out. So I did that. And then as I was here, and then, I was about to start auditioning, I got this terrible eye infection. I had to move back. Or I might have even done the whole audition route in Hindi in Bombay and might have had a different start to my career. But I think we're all, Destiny's children, and that eye infection took me back home. Around that time, a bunch of newcomers were trying to make a film, and they couldn't get any actors' dates because nobody had the time to read these scripts. And they're like, "What if some actor's son wants to act? What if we go to him?" So I think in their minds there was my father's son and Mohanlal's son. Somehow they got access to me, and yeah, I loved the idea, and I jumped into that.
Wow. And now times have changed. You need 3 months to stay. All these houses are open for you. Right. And you say, who do you go to in your family when you've done a film and you're slightly confident, not confident? Whose advice will you take? Who's that one go-to person?
So this is every film. Like I'm never confident. I'm always stressing. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I've done everything I can. What if they don't like it? Is the film too long? What if the second half is dropping? What if the ending isn't big enough? All this nonsense. And I think my entire family is aware of me. Like I'm a different beast closer to release. I'm scatterbrained. I'm like, just wired all the time. But I think everyone in my family play a different role in kind of calming me down. My wife is great at watching a film and saying this worked for me, and usually when it works for her, it works for most people. And she's very honest about it. She's like, this didn't work for me. This is not your kind of movie. I don't know why you did this film. Like she'll say any of these things. But my mom is a little more the overthinker, worrying. If I worry, she'll also worry. That kind. My in-laws are like, oh, you're worried? That means it's a good film. They have some other logic. But my dad is a easy one, right? Because he knows. He's like, this is all you can do. You've done your bit. Now leave it. Now what else can you do? Like leave it to the people. And I think my generation of actors is very different from the older generation of actors. I think for them, it didn't matter so much. Like they didn't think if one film didn't work, their careers are over. They were okay with just law of averages, you know. And they did so many movies. So like in a year, it's like some 6, 7, 8 movies are coming out. Some work, some don't work. All they know is they just keep doing. Whereas us, we're like, oh my god, if this film tanks, I'm finished. I'm done. I'm out of work. Nobody's gonna call me anymore. So I think we are a little more overthinking and paranoid. So I think each member has a way of helping me cope with pre-release tension.
It's good. Nervous energy is always good, right?
Yeah, I think I also think that means you care so much.
Yeah,
You know, if you didn't care about the outcome, or you didn't care about the work you put in,
Hmm.
then you might just be really unaffected.
Right.
But there are some actors who are very zen,
Hmm.
who I'm just
Like who?
like I've heard Ranbir is like that. Like I don't think hit flop, nothing affects him. He's like Dhoni or something. Like he's just zen. And I'm like, I want to be like you.
Right. What is this phase like where you're playing gangster, guns? What is this phase like? Did this happen because you wanted to do these movies or they just came by?
So, you know, I've done these things before also, but I think now it's gaining more wider attention. So people think I'm going through some major shift. Uh, but also, I just turned 40. So I'm like, this next decade also, I can't be a romantic hero. I, I have to show producers and directors, sir, I can do other things. Please see me in other roles. Please think of, you know, different ideas for me. So I can also like I'd also like to have a wider range of genres as an actor and as a producer. I think it's important to constantly surprise yourself, surprise the audience. Otherwise, it shouldn't become like a job where I go and do the same thing every day.
You know, everybody has a favorite DQ movie. Everybody has a different movie. Do you think there was one movie that did change your course as an actor?
Yeah, of course. I think right in the beginning it was Ustad Hotel. I think it just endeared me to the audiences to the point that they felt like I was one of some kid in their house. And I've seen that film save my career multiple times. Like if I have a terrible film that came out, this movie will play on a Sunday on TV, and then people again find that love back for me. So I think that there are those milestone movies that kind of change the course of your career. I think Bangalore Days was one. I think Charlie was one. I'm very sure Charlie was something that I think a lot of directors in other languages they found a spark and started imagining me in certain roles. Uh, okay, Kanmani, I think Mani sir opens doors that only he can. Everybody watches his films, right? So I think definitely like this side of India, I think would have given that film a chance because it's Mani sir's film. They're like, oh, who's this boy? You know, that happens. And I think my outings in Telugu have both been sort of career defining.
Bangalore Days was very cool for its times. 2014, yeah, around 2014. What was that like? Why did you sign that? What was the pitch that you were like, let's do this?
So it was very ambitious that time to do this film with so many different actors and initially I was like I don't know if I want to do. I was like, you know, how do we all have a role? Like, you know, it's very difficult in these. So I was kind of shying away from it in the beginning because also I had all these thoughts in my head. I'm like, you know, I have to play protagonist and tell these stories and become this bankable actor and all this stuff. But then I love Anjali and Anwarka. They both gave me Ustad Hotel. So I was like, uh, I can't say no to them. So I want to give the film a chance. I love the idea. And then I was like, okay, forget this many actors and all this stuff. What is Arjun's story? I loved Arjun's backstory. I loved that he fell in love with Sarah. And it is very unpredictable. Like, you're not, it doesn't fit into what is expected of him. So I like that about it. It was this incredible experience because, you know, Anjali got all of us actors together and she had these exercises to bond, and we had to sit in a circle and tell one thing nobody knows about you. Tell some childhood story, but all of that worked so well. So we all became really close friends, and I remember by the end of the film, we had this one dinner with all of us together. It was the most emotional dinner. Like everybody was so, you know, overwhelmed and difficult to kind of like say goodbyes and stuff. But it was a tough film to make in the sense number of days, and we shot mostly in Bangalore, and Bangalore is very difficult to have to shift locations. You can't plan three things in the same day. You might finish shooting one, in the time you shift to the next, the day is over. Like light is done. So our DOP Samir is the most sort of interesting human in that sense. He'd be like, I'm sorry, light's gone. And then we're just like, but sir, we just spent 3 hours shift into this place. Can we shoot something? He's like, I can't shoot without light. Sorry, guys.
What fun. Have you all seen Bangalore Days? Everybody's seen? Look at this. Yeah, anyone hasn't, it's still on Prime and it's a lovely film. I watched it yesterday before coming. Correct. Okay. You know what I want to ask you is, Dulquer, where does one, after you've done your initial acting course and you know the basics and all, now at this stage, where does one keep learning acting? Do you watch other actors and you're like, wow, how did he do that? You watch it over and over again to see how it's done? How does one learn acting after this?
I think in a lot of my choices, like choosing to do Guns and Gulabs, was to work with Raj and DK and understand their process of filmmaking. So I always believe the best place to learn anything as an actor is on a film set, is working with great makers, working with other great actors. It's not just, at the end of the day, I think we all have our own processes. I don't think you can emulate somebody else's process. I think each of us have to find our own process. But I'm very bad at kind of looking at other performances and trying to break it down. I really enjoy it. I really appreciate it. But I'm one of those people who I don't like looking left and right. I love looking ahead. I like looking behind to see where I came from. I want to keep getting better with every film. I'm always competing with myself, and I think that's best for my mental health also, because it's very easy to get caught up in this. It becomes the same rat race, right? We're all, oh my God, he got this film. Oh my God, he's working with this actor. Oh my God, this project seems better than my project. And movies aren't apples and apples, right? Like me and one of my peers can sign films on the same day, shoot it at the same time, and then release it on the same day. You can't expect them to be compared in any which way. They can be different genres. They can be one can be more entertaining or something. Like so many things come into play. So I don't think it's good for us to compete with each other and compare our careers to others. So I think the best way to learn is to work with great filmmakers, new or veteran. I think sometimes absolute newcomers come up with some very interesting films, some great ways of filmmaking. So I think you're constantly learning with all that.
Dulquer, what are your personal interests? I read somewhere you are into cars. What kind of cars and how many cars?
I think, any of us who are into any of these hobbies or passions, I think it's some kind of wiring that goes wrong when you're born. Like, so as from the time I was a toddler, like my eyes would only go to cars. My mom, I was a very poor eater. I mean, I'm still kind of skinny. So to feed me, the only way to feed me was to put me in the car. So I'll hold the steering wheel and she'll shove food in my mouth. So something about it has always resonated with me. My dad's always kind of been into them. I had my mom's brother, my only mama, is also like been a big influence because he used to sketch a lot, and he loved cars and planes and everything. So as a kid, he used to draw me cars. So I used to start looking at the aesthetic of it, and I'd love to spot unique things that was because India, I think at that time had only ambassadors and Fiats and stuff. So anything that came from a foreign country used to catch my eye, and I used to want to know about it. So now I think, see, I keep saying mental health because I think it's so important to have a clear head. It's very easy in any job to really be stressed, and it's not just you. Maybe it's the pressures of the job, the people you work with, your colleagues, your boss, or whatever, gives you all this stress, and then sometimes you make life only about this work, right? And you kind of forget all these other blessings we have, whether it's your family or your friends, and all the good things in your life kind of takes a backseat, and you put all this pressure about work and then live in that negativity. So I think it's important for any of us to have hobbies. So as actors, I think we are first waiters because we're just waiting all the time. So in that time, I'm not sitting and reading film news and all this nonsense. I love reading, watching videos on cars, and I used to collect scale models as a kid. I think I'm a bit of a hoarder. I collect anything. There was a time when I was young, I used to collect movie tickets. I don't know why. So if I went for this film with 6 friends, I'll collect all 6 stubs. And I had a whole hoarding of that and I'm like, oh, this movie we went 6 of us. Who are the 6 people that day? Just random. So I've realized that I collect anything. And then when I got older, or when I got into movies, started making money, whatever, I started indulging in collecting older cars and restoring them and stuff like that. So that also keeps me distracted. Like if so this is just to kind of I think keep my head clear and enjoy my work and not let any negativity like bog me down.
It's a nice, expensive hobby. Right. You know,
As in,
there was
my
an.
mom is I think fed up of this. I think so was my wife. My dad doesn't understand it at all. He's like, "What is the point of this? What are you planning to do? Are you going to open a museum?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I have to save them, ba. I have to save them, or they'll be run to the ground, or somebody who doesn't know them will modify them, and they'll look terrible." And in my head, I'm like trying to save these things.
There's a funny incident because car is such a status thing, right? There was a set where you were kind of pushed around and you said, "Get my fancy car," and they will know who I am. What
Yeah,
was that? Where was that?
this is not thanks to Gulshan. I don't know why he shared the story. But in a way, it's good because I'm so fed up of hearing how humble and down to earth I am.
They've just said, all this was said before you came.
So I'm like, yeah, sometimes I flex. If I also think sometimes it's about perception, right? If you don't create a bit of this aura around you, you will get pushed around. And on set or anywhere, I just seek basic human respect. Like, acknowledge this human being sitting here. Don't shove this light in my face or drop some prop on me. Uh, or like, can I get a chair to sit? Something like sometimes that maybe in your early days of your career when people it all changes if you become a star, right? Like then everybody wants to get you everything, and so I think that there's one time where I was getting pushed around a lot, over and over. I was like, why is this happening? So I'd be like, Bhaiya, I'm the actor on this film. Please, just you don't see me. You keep bringing these things and shoving it in my face, or like. So then I was like, maybe it's a perception thing. So I was like, get the Porsche.
Oh, the perception changed.
Suddenly everybody's like, oh my god, yeah, South, some big actor has come and like this car is like, it just changed things, and like suddenly I got a chair, and suddenly like people walked around me, not through me.
So cool. We also saw your car, Niche, and that's why we gave you a proper place, nothing falling on you. Okay, this is an exciting time to get you on the show because you have two amazing releases. Raj and DK are some of the most amongst the most talented directors in the country today, whether it's OTT space or big screen. What are they like?
Firstly, there's 12 months in the year, and the only two releases I have this year are 1 week apart in August. But coming back to Raj and DK, they are just like the superstars of this game right now. I've loved everything they've done. I've been tracking their films from like I think Shore in the City, and you're kind of always aware. And I think the initial perception the industry had of them are of these two NRI filmmakers who don't understand India. They're coming with a Western gaze. How will they tell our stories and stuff like that? But they are both, I think, like from Chittoor and like Tirupati and like small town boys, and have this incredible love for cinema. They're both engineers. They went to America, and so I think, and it's like, Macha, we want to make movies, so let's make movies. How do we make movies? Let's go and find all the information there is. Let's go to libraries. Let's go understand how are scripts written. What is the format? Da, 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 da. So in that engineering analytical mind, they figured out what filmmaking is, and then they have this incredible innate humor that they both have, and I think that reflects in their writing in their films. So irrespective of genres, their content is fun to watch. You don't. It's not overly stressful. There's always some humor that's there, and so work. So I was like, I'm very curious to work with them. Like what can I learn from them? And I loved the first interaction. I loved both of them as individuals. Raj is this very. I mean, they both have great humor, but Raj is a little more calmer. I see him in a bit of a older brother, like mentor kind of zone. But DK is the fun, cool one. Like he loves to wear boots and jackets, and he's like, "Hey DK, how am I looking today?" So he's the one like I'll chill with. But at the same time, on set, they have great writing. They have a great production setup. They are fab as directors, but it's fun. It's you're working, you're getting great work done, but it's all done with a smile. It's all done with a joke. So my character's name is Arjun Varma in the show, and there's a scene where I have to like very coolly introduce myself, right? And I'm like Arjun Mathur. And they're like, DQ, what are you saying? No, he's not in this show. But it's not like, they're not the guys who will reprimand you, right? They just laugh at your mistake. And you're like, crap. So that is the vibe on set. Like, we're all having fun and everybody can improvise. You can all try new things. And they're open to these things. But if they think it's going a little off or if it's not in line with the script, they'll kind of nudge you back in. He's like, that's great, but I don't know if we should go that far. Let's keep it out of this zone. So we're like, okay, awesome. Can I try this? And they're like, yeah, let's try that. So it's so collaborative, right? So each of us gets to, because they know, like, okay, this is how we wrote the character. This is how we see the character. This is the backstory of the character. And this is how he looks and talks, whatever. But we want to know what the actor is bringing to it. What is the actor being there feel about this character, how he thinks? Maybe it's a little different from how we saw it. And they try to find that magic. So it's great fun. And you cover a lot of material in a day.
It's looking amazing. Can't wait to watch it. King of Kota. Last time we spoke, there you have a lot more say. You reshot the climax because you said you're so answerable to your fans. It has to be perfect. What was that like?
So, I'm somebody who does, I think, 3-4 films a year, every year, to try and reach all the audiences all the time, because everybody's always complaining. There's such a long gap between your Malayalam film, such a long gap in your Tamil film. So, like, every industry, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm back. I know I'm late. So, if I gave one film 1 year, it's because I really wanted it to become something really special. And it's the first time I'm attempting something so big. This genre, though I've done a few films like that, I was always very keen on just maybe pursuing the content of those films and in a slightly more academic way. I wasn't thinking so much about it becoming very entertaining and reaching the widest audience. So I think this is the first time I'm kind of attempting a film which I feel like should be as commercial, as palatable to everybody and reach as many people as possible. How do we make it as entertaining? How do we get the best departments on board? How can I make this a big theatrical experience, a big spectacle? So it has been a huge, I think, endeavor. Also, we shot it in Karikudi in Tamil Nadu for like some 8 months, where to the point now I'm just like, can we shoot somewhere where there's a Starbucks? Like, I just miss, being in a city. But they were lovely, the people there were lovely. But I think for them, it was like the circus came to town and was not leaving. So I think at the end of 8 months, they're like, please leave. We want our order and normalcy back. The circus from Kerala has come and taken over the whole town.
You are a city boy, right? Someone who misses Starbucks has to be such an urban city boy.
I am. It's a bit of a mix. I think I'm just a coffee person. I think that my only takeaway from my 5 years in America is coffee. I don't have an accent. I don't have any of those things. I do say schedule and not schedule. I don't say route for route. But yeah, so my big takeaway was coffee. My dad's like, what is this coffee obsession? I said, I don't know, pa. I think now it's like my like a kid's like milk bottle or something. I need my coffee mug. Where is my coffee?
A producer approaches you for a remake of your dad's movie.
Bam.
A filmmaker asks you to promote a film non-stop.
I have made my peace with it. Okay. Plus, people say I'm very patient, so sometimes I test my own patience.
Right. A fan offers you sweets, but you're dieting.
I will have that sweet.
I will have that sweet. A friend borrows your car.
Just be careful with my baby.
Your chef puts pineapple on the pizza.
I have not understood it. I guess I'll try it. I'll try anything.
You'll try anything.
But why is this such a big controversy?
Yeah, people don't like pineapple
on pizza.
Right,
I don't like pineapple, period.
A filmmaker approaches you with a film, but it is full of cuss words.
If it's warranted, but sometimes I feel like it's too much.
Right.
But I want to understand why. And if it's the right filmmaker and the right film, I will do it.
A friend says Ronaldo is better than Messi. Oh.
To each his own. I'm not getting into this fight. You like Ronaldo? Good. You like Messi? Great.
Right. A journalist asks you a question on nepotism.
Oh, I love answering it now.
And you're all glad we have Dulquer here. And we request you to sing a song. What?
I've done it so much. I hate hearing my voice. Plus, if you have children in the house, they can listen to anything or watch anything on loop. And my daughter thinks it's very entertaining to watch my songs. And if I hear Dingri Dingale or something again, I will shoot myself.
But this audience has not heard. No? They've come from where all 2 lines they should get a gulab and 2 lines.
This is not even going to get you views because I've done this so much. It's just repetitive now.
We will let this pass then. Few questions of never have I ever, and then we move on to audience question. I know you all are waiting, but this is
Awesome.
the promise. Okay, shall we go?
Let's go.
Never have I ever been on a set for 24 hours.
I have.
You have?
What is your never have I ever?
Which film?
I think solo. I think Bijoy and Bijoy can shoot, dude. Like Bijoy can shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. And this one time we were shooting a certain hospital scene, and I had, I think, already shot for 18 or 20 hours or something. And so I was like, finally I was done. And this is, I think, an hour and a half from my home in Kochi, somewhere between Kochi and Thrissur. And he's like, yeah, you can go, but you have to be back here at 7. I was like, it's like 2 a.m. Like, it takes me 1 hour to 1.5 hours to get. I said, you know what? There's a bed on this hospital. I'll just sleep here. Wake me up when you're ready and we'll shoot again.
Wow, 24 hours. Amazing. Now we know what you'll do. Get my Porsche. Right. Never have I ever failed in an exam.
Oh my God, how I failed. In 8th standard, I failed 4 exams in 1 semester. My mother, poor thing, I don't think she's touched books in a long time. She sat down and started studying my subjects and teaching me.
Never have I ever used my dad's celebrity status. When you were younger, college, school.
No, never.
Never. Never have I pranked a co-actor on the sets.
I keep reading about these, who are these pranksters on set?
Ajay Devgan. There are many like him.
I really want to work with him to experience this. I'm like, first of all, I'm like, what ideas should we come up with?
Yeah, that is a task. Okay.
Have you heard of any of these pranks?
I have been a part of many of these. It's
What are
great.
they
fun.
like?
They are serious. They are very well planned. He involves cops. He involves everything.
Oh my
He'll
God.
get you arrested.
But when
You'll
do
go
they- when
to
do
a
they-
real jail.
When do they make the film?
Yeah, we'll ask Ajay Devgan. The fact that he's made so many successful, I think they have fun and I think they just go ahead with it.
I think I think because we come from Malayalam and it's so tight all the time. I
Yeah.
don't think we can waste any time.
He used a software once and messaged Mr. Bachchan's publicist, come to my house at 7 a.m. And that message was from Amitabh Bachchan. He reaches at 7 a.m. and saying, yes, sir, you called me. Saying no. So,
Okay, that's harmless. It's not
yeah,
affecting.
right. So they do a lot of these things. Never have I ever injured myself on a film set. Have you?
We all have. If you're an actor, you know, to be an actor, I think sets are just accident prone. You know, remember those huge fans, those big blade fans?
Hmm.
At the beginning of my career, there's always somebody sticking their finger into it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, can't you see the fan? No, sir, we're turning it. I'm like, yeah, switch it off and turn it. Ding. Like
Right.
every other day, somebody is like, there's blood on set. And they're like, sir, there's blood on set. That means film is a hit. Could be.
Never have I ever lied in an interview.
I'm sure I have. I mean, I'm sure there must be something. And if I say no, I haven't,
Okay.
I'm really trying with this boring human, so I'm spice things up a little bit.
Never have.
I have lied in interviews.
Changing. Never have I lied in this interview.
I have not lied in
Oh,
this.
so far. Oh, thank God. Right. Never have I ever Googled myself. Do you do that? Like,
I kind of YouTube myself to kind of, like, if I've done this promotional tour, I don't know how to go and find every video, so I'll YouTube myself and be like, is anything new popped up? That I do. Google, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, I have that.
okay. Never have I ever replied to trolls just in anger.
Oh, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I have. But I stopped. Now I just block them. I'm like, block. I get great joys out of it. And they get really upset.
Yeah.
They're like, Blocker Salmaan and all this.
Okay, sir. Never have I ever reached late at a film set.
Oh, I've reached late a lot. I'm not a morning person.
Saying that very proudly, I can say.
It's not that, isn't it? Sometimes, also, I work long hours. And I tell them ahead, I said, ma'am, sir, if it's very important, if you want sunrise shot, I'm there. But otherwise, I'm not a morning person. If you can start with something else, I'll be I'm not an 8 a.m. person.
Okay, you're not
You can't do that with money, sir.
Never have I ever been starstruck seeing a celebrity.
I'm still starstruck.
Seeing who all?
Anyone I see, I think if I see Shah Rukh sir, if I see Mr. Bachchan, I'm just like nothing. I don't know what to say. I'm like, think of something clever, say something, like ask something. Hi sir.
Thank you. Thank you. This was great
It was
fun.
great fun.
I'm going to get them one by one over here so that they get a picture
awesome.
with you. Come on, guys. It's time. Who wants to ask a question? You want to start?
Actually, I had two questions.
Okay.
First question I wanted to know was in an Avish Matthew interview, you'd said that you've stayed in Chembur for some time because when you were in college, I think your college friend was here.
Right.
So apart from Chembur, is there any other place in Bombay where you have fond memories before you gained stardom?
So my best friend from university, he lives in Singapore, Nikhil. His grandmom was the principal of a school in Chembur, and she's a really celebrated principal, and he had a really great bond with her. And he used to only stay with her when he'd come. So he'd be like, "Come to Bombay, I'm here." It's vacation time, so we'll all come to Bombay. And he's like, "Yeah, but we have to stay with, and he won't let you stay anywhere else." So it's a school, and she has a school accommodation, and we boys will go out clubbing or whatever and go back and stay there in Chembur in their house. So I remember that. And it was his elderly grandmother and her assistant. And these two old ladies and us like some 20-year-olds, some 4, 5 of us boys. Beyond that, my other best friend lives in Juhu. So he's one I stayed with during acting school. And then acting school was in Andheri. So all of that, Lokhandwala, all of those places. Fun Republic is opposite Barry John. And we used to keep going to that McDonald's when we're supposed to be aspiring actors and build bodies and all. We used to keep going to the McDonald's. And Infinity Mall, I have the best memories of watching movies. And I remember once we planned this whole movie marathon. So from morning to night, we booked in the same theater, all the movies that were there. And we thought like, oh, from morning to night, we can just be on that lounger or whatever. But between shows, they make you go out and come back in. And we're like, but I'm so cozy. I don't want to do this. They're like, no, sir, we'll clean the theater. Like, fine. But so I did those 3 movies there. And now my movies are like premiering there. Or we have, so I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. So I have a lot of fond memories of Bombay. I think the time that I was in acting school, I decided I was like, I'm going to be like a tourist, do everything. So like, we used to go to Colaba, we used to go to Britannia. And all of these, I've explored everything, yeah.
My second question is about your film Ace Anamika. You had played Yaran in the film, and there is a scene where you go to Aditi Rao Hydari's party, or I think it's with a boss, and you're wearing that ghagra scene. It's so unlike you, like the entire character in itself, and it's a very feminist character. If anybody's seen that film, I don't know. So it's a very feminist character. I mean, Yaran was very progressive. So I want to know what was the brief that was given to you when that scene was told to you.
So I wore a burqa in Ustad Hotel, if you remember.
Yes.
So I'm always open to these things. And Hey Sinamika had this wonderful female energy because every HOD was a woman. So my director, stylists, our DOP, I think except production design, our editor, everybody was, lady HODs. So it had that energy. Plus it had these 2 superstar strong actors like Aditi and Kajal. And I've loved Brinda Master so dearly. I think if you like me as a romantic hero, she plays a big part in that. Because the most celebrated things in love stories or movies like that is the song. And I am a very reluctant dancer. I am super shy to do anything intimate. And she's the one person who's always made it easier for me and helped me through that, held my hand through it. And therefore, I think she's really defined my career in some way. So when she wanted to make a film, I had to be a part of it. But these are not things I expected to happen out of the film. I kind of heard the story. And I loved that scene. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love that Yaran is such a feminist. I loved wearing that outfit. I kept twirling. So, like between shots, this is all I did. I was like, this is so fun.
I think you danced in it as well.
I did. I think there's
Yes.
BTS videos of me and ma'am's assistant Leela, who was like my friend, and she was also wearing something flowy. And we kept doing boomerangs of us doing the twirl. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you.
I'm big fan of your father also, Mamaka.
Me too.
So do you have any plan with act with one of?
I've had this plan for many years, but he doesn't have that plan.
Oh.
I mean, also, I think in his head, he thinks, the fact that I have this own identity, he's very proud of. He's like, if we both come in a movie, we won't look like the characters, we'll just look like father and son.
Oh.
I hope it happens.
I too. I won't just.
See us together in one frame. Yeah, me too. I'm like, just, like one frame, if both of us are there, I'll be.
I just look forward to that.
First of all, I can't believe that
You have
I'm
such nice
sitting with
eyes.
you. Oh, it's lens.
Oh, lenses. Whoops.
I can't see.
I'm an actor. I should know this.
Okay, first of all, you should just place me as your PR because I keep promoting you everywhere. Yeah, please take
Your
note.
job is
no,
in
but
threat.
yeah, I keep promoting you everywhere, my friends, family, everywhere. Okay, and like I was just coming for the show, right? So my husband is like, you have to come back here, okay? You know, right? You have a house here. I'm like, come on, yaar. That is the thing he told me. So you can imagine the level of likeness I have.
Thank you so much for the
So
PR.
yeah. So my question is, how are you staying so modest? Okay, I know the Porsche episode. I didn't know about it.
I'm a show
I
off.
didn't know about it.
I flex everything all the time.
No, Dulquer, because you have everything. You're born to a legend, first thing, and the stardom and the crazy fans that you have everywhere. I mean, how are you staying like this?
This is a very good question because I don't know whether we expect people to be badly behaved or what.
I think, yeah.
Show the tantrums, please.
Yeah. So I think it's a law of relativity. I think maybe other people behave a certain way, and therefore it makes me look good. I don't know how else to be. In my head, I'm never good enough, so I'm always afraid that I won't last. I won't survive in the industry. I'm very very grateful to be here. So like anytime I feel like it's getting to my head, I feel like I'm taking it too lightly. Like I feel like I'm above the movies. I'm above the films I do. And none of us actors can except maybe Salman Khan, can single-handedly make like any movie work. You don't have that. It's not only the hero that makes a film work. So I think in all that, I kind of live in a little bit of fear. So that keeps me grounded.
Great. Just stay the same.
Yeah, it's been 12 years, I think.
Hello, my name is Karina.
Hi, Karina.
Two quick questions. First one, now that you've been married for so long, how do you react when girls still approach you with a romantic proposal?
Where were you guys when I was single? Where? I got no attention from women. Before I became an actor, even the friends that I mentioned would be the real heartthrobs in our groups or in our school. I was never the heartthrob. But this is God's sense of humor, right? Like he'll give you all this stuff and you can't have any.
And the second one is Sita Ramam. I'm sure, I think it's one of our all-time favorite romantic movies, right? Right, girls? Yeah. So, what would your reaction be if somebody wants to remake it? Would it be a gulab or would it be a gun?
Oh.
I'm generally guns about remakes. I have been offered, big films in remake form and lots of money and all this stuff, and I'm like, no, I will not do remakes. Also, I think everybody's seen Sita Ramam. Why, which market would you remake it for? Unless it's in Japanese or something. I get very upset. Like, sir, you only take photos with girls.
So, hi DQ.
Hi.
My name is Prakash. I'm a
Prakash.
Telugu guy.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So, first of all, I just want to congratulate and everyone want to clap for him to receiving International Film Melbourne Award for Sita Rama.
Thank you.
Yeah. Quick two questions. First thing, are you planning for regarding for Alexander, which is like Kurup, like ending, which loading?
I want to wait to do any sequels. I think there's so much original films that I'm dying to do. I think maybe later on in my career I'll revisit some of them. But for the time being, I think I'm still trying to find original content.
So one last question regarding for that. I'm a film student, like I'm pursuing my direction goals. So can I have a chance to direct you and your father, which is a proper crime,
I wish.
crime story.
Yeah.
This is
So that will be a completely night shoot, no morning shoots.
Go.
It's a lot of blood and night.
Have you done night shoots?
Hmm?
Have you done night shoots?
No, we are about to do.
So night shoots are great till about 2 a.m. Between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., nothing works, right? Because your brain doesn't understand what the hell is going on. Like from 5 a.m. again, you're kind of like, okay, sun is coming, something's happening. But this night shoots are tough. So if you're planning a film and saying, sir, this whole film is night, I'll be like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. So mix it up.
Cool.
Yeah,
He
well, I'll
can't
try to.
commit for a film, but he can give you a rose. Thank you.
But all the best to your film dreams. I hope they all come
Thank
true.
you, thank you.
Got your hand.
I was listening your this hideous song so much, and I was like, oh my god! And it seems like I manifested this in-person meeting.
I'm loving this whole manifesting thing. Like you know, now I think it's everybody's favorite sort of belief. I see this all in the industry a lot. So I also need to start manifesting things.
Yeah, I feel like that. And like I have two questions: how a newcomer can approach you, like if they want to make any Malayalam film or they have any stories. So how that?
So my production, Wayfarer, like I've created a team to listen to scripts across the board, whether it's a newcomer or somebody. But ideally, if you are a newcomer, I would like to see something you've done. It can be a short film. It can be something where I can understand how you're going to tell your stories.
Yeah.
That helps.
Like if someone is having a good story, like like
It's very tough to filter. Not for anything else, because also I listen in 4 languages. And I think once you become a somewhat bankable actor, everybody has a script. It's like my bank manager has a script, or my friend's 80-year-old uncle has a script. I'm like, when are you all writing these things? So it is very difficult to filter. But sometimes I think if films are destined to be made, it will happen.
yeah. And another question is like how you met your wife. I know that story, but I just wanted to hear from
This
you.
story also is very, very old, but I mean, she was from my school.
Just in brief.
She was from my school. She was my junior. She was 5 years my junior. So when I was a prefect, she was like this small with a ponytail. But I think around the time I met her, I kept bumping into her in Chennai a lot. And she doesn't go out. She's not a social person at all. So I'll see her like going into the salon or like at a dinner, and I'm just like, this is a sign. So then, very like the boys of the time, I sent her a message on Facebook.
I just went there for 2 minutes. I got some interesting questions. And come, you have a picture that you want to recreate with him. He photoshopped himself with you, but now he is getting a chance to.
I'm very intrigued. This is a lot of things you've come with.
Okay, I can't believe I'm breathing the same air as Dulquer. Can I just? I'm a bit nervous. 10 years of wait, guys. Okay.
10 years. I've only been doing this some 12 years or 11 years.
I have been admiring you since 2013. So
Thank you.
since my 9th standard. So it's like.
Let's go. Tell us.
Okay. So yeah, I had 2 questions. One of the questions Rohit had already asked you during the interview. My second question is like, now he mentioned that you had shot the climax of reshot the climax of King of Kotha. So is it like, is it because what happened with Solo? Because I remember when Solo's last film's climax had a lot of backlash to it. People had some culture shock. I don't think it was an art, basically. It's a director's POV. They have the freedom to do it. So is it because of that?
No,
like a creative
I
difference?
I still stand by the climax of Solo. I had a problem with, I think, the producers kind of editing out that scene and then.
I mean, yeah, it got
after-
re-released
yeah,
again
re-released
because
or-
I went and I always watch first day, first show, so I don't miss out anything. But my friends who went and watched it like later after like 3 days, they said they told me there was nothing wrong with the climax. I was like, okay, did this happen in the climax? They're like, no. Then they cut it out.
Yeah, so I had a problem with that because I'm like, you should stand by your vision. The thing with KOK was, I think, there's certain things you read in script, it has to translate visually. So I think when the way we staged and shot the climax, the place we shot it at, it didn't kind of give the rest of the film it do justice to that.
Because for me also, it was the same thing. When I shot my short film, it was a very controversial kind of a film, but I thought it was my POV, let me just do it the way I want. And everybody loved it. Some people had some backlash, but then I don't think anybody has rights to just come and say, "Aisa nahi karna tha, you shouldn't
No,
do
you
that."
can't make everybody happy.
I mean, you
Okay,
can't
like
make everybody happy, but they can't come and
any
force
art
you
form.
like, "Aisa, don't do this." Like you said,
No, I don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, because you
Nobody
were
knows-
upset when they cut
nobody
it out.
knows what you should do. Nobody knows what I should do. So if you believe in something, you should do it. I think the reason for me to even reshoot the climax because I believe in the film so much. I want to give it everything it deserves. And I was like, if this is not doing justice to the film, let's do it again. I'm happy to put in the effort and the money and stuff.
Right, let's do your picture so that everybody gets a chance.
Okay,
Yeah?
so I'll just show you this. So back in 2016, when I was in my college, everybody knew how obsessed I was with DQ. So one of my friend, he actually did a Photoshop of this picture. Oh, so I just thought I want to recreate this.
Though we're both carrying cameras, so I'm guessing we're just shooting each
Yeah.
other. You. Now you.
Yeah.
You.
So you want to click him, right?
Yeah, I just want to
Come.
clip him.
Come, let's do it.
Thank you. This was really, really such a good idea for you to get this, and he's going to sign it. We'll just take 3 more questions, and then he has to leave. So yeah, I'll come to you. Yeah. Come, I can see another picture coming your way, and
From my side.
everybody's
Yeah.
come with homework. True fan.
What is it? Yeah, it's a craft thing. What it would be? You got a letter recently from me. I guess I had sent it to Aishani.
Okay. Huh.
Can you guess
Here.
what it is?
Sit. Yeah.
No? Still, can you guess it? Thoda sa. Something related to your movies. And I was very happy when you said about
Is it a
your
collage
favorite...
of my movies?
No? One of your favorite movie which you mentioned.
What did I? Ustad Hotel. Charlie. Oh wow, this is so nice.
I actually wanted to do it.
How did
since
you
7
make
years.
this?
This is paper quilling. I have quilled it and I have drawn everything.
This is stunning. Oh my god. This
I
is
have
going
been
up
chasing
in my
Basil.
house.
I wanted to ask you, what do you do of all the artwork that comes to you?
They're all there. Like.
You also have the cup which I have given you, the one with car, the Bullet
Yes.
McQueen.
Yes.
This is a test.
Yes. I do.
It's not a test.
It's not about a test, but sometimes I have to like go through what all I've got. Yeah.
The thing is, എൻ്റെ കുറേ friends ഉണ്ട്. എല്ലാവർക്കും തോന്നുന്നു എനിക്ക് വട്ടാ. They think I'm very crazy. And they
I
like
think you're very
every-
creative.
They think that every year
I
come up
couldn't do
with-
this in this
they think
lifetime.
Every year I come up with something new. So they are like, are you crazy? You should stop. I'm like, no, it gives me that pleasure. And it took me 7 years to go for this. And when I made this, my friends wanted me to meet you and give you, and I've been manifesting. I had sent her the letter. I asked her, can I?
That's very exciting. But you know, this is what keeps me grounded because the people who watch our cinema are 1,000 times more talented and creative and gifted than we are.
You liked it?
Love it. I love it.
So you're keeping it, right?
Of course I am.
Because I need to tell.
And you have a notepad as well.
This was the first time I saw you, and it was in the fever, and I made you a coffee cup the next time I met you. I watched Karva and I decided I'm giving you a coffee cup, and I gave you a coffee cup with the Bullet McQueen. I think I have the video of it. This was like, I want to make a video so that I can tell people, yeah, he cares.
I do care.
Yeah.
People feel, you sign it anywhere. I already have your signature, but still, I want it. My brother has also come. This is the 5th time I'm giving you something.
It's a good thing this signature is different from my official signature.
Great. That's a really smart fan. First she gave, and then she said, what do you do with all this?
Hello, sir.
Hi.
My name is Sharayu, and I've seen your Sitarama movie, and that was the best one. And I really want to thank you for portraying Lieutenant Ram so gracefully. So this is a small gift from my side.
Thank you.
Just a question: which one was your fondest memory of Sitaramam?
I think we can sit down. We started shooting the film in Kashmir. I was finishing up Salute in like Hangout or something in North Kerala, and I had to fly all the way to Srinagar and then drive to Sonmarg. Sorry, my God, completely blank. And that was like a long journey all the way there, and we started shooting there in the snow. And I have never been to Kashmir. My first time in Kashmir is Sitaramam. And I think on day 2 or day 3, we started shooting Kanuna Kalyanam. And they had all these girls, including Mrunal, doing Kathak against these mountains. And the song was playing, and I was like, I have the best job in the world.
My name is Purushika.
My name is DQ.
Nice meeting you, sir.
It's nice to meet you.
I have made this for you.
So
These
sweet.
butterflies are inspired from Sitarama movie.
Butterflies have suddenly become a part of my life, by the way. Like,
Yes.
now suddenly I'm looking at the art in my house, there's butterflies everywhere, and I'm like, yeah. But
In your sketch.
thank you. You're so talented. Hi, Ryan.
Hi. So you're a motorhead. I'm a motorhead. two iconic cars in your garage. One is the BMW M3, one is the SLS AMG Gullwing. If one of your friends asks you for either of the cars, what would you do? Would it be a gun or a gulab for him?
Gun. So I don't think anybody's driven the M3 especially because I'm very paranoid about it.
Is it the original M3 or the refitted with the kit?
It's an original E46 M3, 6-speed manual. In fact, I have
I'm actually getting goosebumps hearing that.
I have an E46, I have an E36, and I have an E92 that I'm restoring now. You can have a whole other show on this.
Totally, I wish.
This is absolute nerd talk. You have something to give him. I can see an envelope coming here.
Is that a letter?
Yes, sir.
I asked, is that a check?
So that's a handwritten letter because I know that you love handwritten
I
letters.
love handwritten letters. Thank you.
Yes.
What is your name again?
My name is Nayonika.
Okay, nice to meet you.
And so I was actually introduced to your work by Albert. He's my best friend.
Thank you, Albert.
And I'm just really happy that I'm sharing the same space as you.
No, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, so I just have one question. There's this belief that you've been typecast as a romantic hero, but I have watched almost all of your movies, and I feel like there's a different twist to all of them, and you can't be fit into a box. So
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is what I want from my filmography and my career. Yeah, thank you.
So I just wanted to know, like, what goes inside DQ's head when he's preparing himself to put himself into those characters' shoes and
No,
bring that edge.
I love the stuff that scares the hell out of me. You know, I'm like, if I hear a script and I'm like, what am I doing in this? Like, I'm just kind of going through the beats. Nothing is scaring me in it. Then I'm like, nothing should be easy when I make a film. Like, I want it to be challenging. I want it to scare me because I feel like that'll drive me to like do my best. So whether it's doing a new language, I'll always find a challenge in every film I do.
So yeah, so basically it's that thrill of learning something new and then
I think that's the only way you grow. Like you want to keep getting better. So I think we dar ke aage jeet hai and all that. So, all of us, I encourage all of you. If somebody is telling you that you can't do something, or if your mind is telling you can't do something, you should go out and do it. And if you fail at it, at least you know you tried. But if you succeed, if you get through it, it gives you such a leap in confidence and like self-belief, and your self-love goes up. So this is one thing I always encourage everyone. I'm like, if you're scared of something, do it. You want to take a plunge, do it. I mean, don't everybody quit your jobs, because sometimes people think I'm like encouraging people to do that. Get on a motorcycle, go see the country.
Thank you. Yeah, you want to give him a bag? You already got
bag?
a rose. This is a bag for you. So sweet.
I won't throw it. I don't throw it.
You want to say 2-3 things that are in the bag so that we also know?
There are chocolates and there
Chocolates.
are some random things. There are chocolates and then some random things.
Random
things are what we're all curious about.
Like some Yardley and...
Thank you.
I will not throw it away. I will make sure it gets to my house.
I hope.
And we'll all open it.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. Yes, thank you.